Happy Halloween! This is being recorded on Halloween, but you are probably seeing this on November 3rd. Yes. No, that sounds right. That's when this is being uploaded, is probably November 3rd. But this is still my Halloween video. So to make this as Halloween as possible, at one random point in this video, in this reaction to the new Halloween special, I'm just gonna scream as loud as I can. Don't know when it'll be. I don't know when it'll be. You don't know when it'll be. We'll find out together. So, as far as Halloween specials go for Dean of Doom, the Going Down episode was really, really good. I haven't watched too much of it, actually. Well, I've seen the episode, but I haven't watched it too much. Maybe like 2 or 3 times total, and not like in the last year. The second Halloween special, though, the 2021 special, was, I think, the highlight episode of Dean of Doom. That's my favorite episode to date. So I'm really excited for the episode that we have for this Halloween, which I'll be reacting to while I consume my Subway sandwich. I suggested one WOD for this. I don't know if it was for this, but I know it was... It might have been. I don't remember. So we'll see if it shows up. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I guess let's just see what happens. You know the usual. Mount Payne gave consent. Go watch on his first. Come back. We'll do this together. Yeah, you know the deal. Alright. What you got for me? 27 Payne.
Hello there. I'm Mount Payne 27, and what the hell is going on here? What happened to all my terminals? This is gonna cost a fortune to fix. Oh, wait a minute. I never took care of that arch-file nest, did I? Uh-oh.
Oh, dead. Oh, it says dead. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. I never realized that sawed-off WODs, you could rearrange that to spell dead. Oh my god. Nice skull, by the way. Uh-oh. I don't recognize any of these so far. Yeah!
Whew. Sorry about that. Hello there, and happy Halloween. I'm Mount Payne.
Only took 1 hit from that, man. The sawed-off Doom guy is good.
Payne 27, and this is Dean of Doom, the show we give grades to classic and contemporary Doom WODs. Why? Because...
I'm sorry, this is entirely unrelated. The Subway in my area just got Italian urban cheese bread back, so I'm like... over the moon for this. Anyway, sorry.
Ranking things is fun. It's a good thing I came down here when I did, or those Archies would have ruined my plans. Looks like I caught them right before they destroyed today's lineup of Spooktober-themed WODs.
Yeah!
Thank goodness. Just like last year, we're gonna have a gander at several sawed-off Hallowads, and what better place to start than Wormwood Expanded Universe, a 7-map sequel to 2019's collaboration between RIBBIKS and Grain of Salt. Before we see what kind of Halloween hijinks they got up to, here's how the show works. Every map gets 1 grade for quality and 1 for difficulty. Quality grades go from A to F. Grade A levels are fun, memorable, visually distinctive, creative, and a fair challenge. We grade difficulty from X to E. X for extreme, E for easy, A through D in between. Keep in mind, my idea of a great map is probably not the same as yours, but that's okay. Disagreeing is part of the fun, after all. At the end of the day, this show is about spreading the joy of Doom. So let's do so. Before we start, the rules are, we play on ultra-violence and must pistol start each level. I need to play the WOD twice before reviewing it. Saves are allowed, and we go for 100% kills in all levels, making exceptions when it's just not worth it. I play on Z-Doom, and the first part of today's program is boom compatible. Okay. Now, to the WODs.
Alright.
Map 1, never mind, there was a backdoor. So last time on Wormwood, Doom Guy jumped into a big green monster's mouth and resigned himself to an eternity of socializing with the bat colony living in its belly.
That was before the Lilith transition.
One very boring year later, he makes a shocking discovery. Now sprung from the beast's belly, you can grab a megasphere and step into the darkness to initiate Wormwood 2's first challenge. There's just 1 enemy in this map, a cyber demon. No big deal, right? Well, the thing is, these purple firewalls reflect projectiles, which is kind of a problem.
Oh my fucking god! That is so fucking cool!
Dealing with a rocket-launching skyscraper with goat legs. Don't ask me how RIBBIKS did this. Such modifications are witchcraft to me. The 2 eye switches are critical to your survival.
Back when we can bear votes. Whatever I said
Survival.
in
They
what?
raise
Oh, should I lower the volume? God damn it.
single-use barriers are witchcraft to me.
Fake floors,
The two
okay.
eye switches are critical to your survival. They raise single-use barriers on the inside and outside of the arena, which can provide tiny windows to collect soul spheres and get some shots in on Cybie. I somehow managed to beat him on my second try this time, which I consider pure luck. It's all about how many times he stuns and whether the rocket ricochets behave. Nevermind is a fun and roguish Halloween trick. Grade A-, difficulty
That's really,
B+.
really cool. You know what, though, actually? Because you can't even rely on the rockets hitting him, because they'll pass right through him, because they're his projectiles, I think.
Map 2, Mew.
Unless it changes the projectiles. Like, if it changes the origin of the projectiles. Like, who shot it?
A micromap with a fittingly petite name, Mew squeezes 3 miniature challenges into less than 2 minutes. First, climb out of the grape soda pond. Next, kill all the Arachnos and Hell Knights with a tight balance of rockets, shells, and infighting. And finally, platform to the exit with no penalty for falling. Like one of those Hershey's miniature candy bars, I like it, but I want more. Grade B, difficulty B-. Now,
Oh yeah, 1 bar's never enough, man.
3, I'm Rubber, You're Glue. I'm Rubber, You're Glue is a delightful 3-pronged exhibition of the bouncy purple wall gimmick. Bouncy might be the wrong word, actually. In challenge room number 1, these purple columns slingshot Hell Knight fireballs like the moon did to Apollo 13. The effect seems more gravitational than reflective. Eventually, some Mechubullies will get in on the fun here, but all you have to do is survive until the escape hatch opens, and they'll all get crushed. Room number 2 is also pretty straightforward. You just need to get these cybers to backboard rockets into a crowd of archviles, slap the skull switch, and skedaddle. The third room is hands down the most creative puzzle of the bunch. If you don't want to be incinerated by the team of flame boys waiting around the corner, just ask yourself this. Have I ever been hit by my own rocket before? The answer, of course, is no. You can only ever hurt yourself with splash damage.
Okay, well,
if
that
you
answers my
pre-fire
question
enough
about map
rockets
1.
into the purple fire, you'll create a crisscrossing wall of death that will decimate most of the vials without you lifting a finger. This map is a blast to figure out. I love how it swings your expectations from this is impossible to, oh wait, no it's not. Grade A.
That is so fucking cool! Dude! Oh my god! That's awesome! Oops.
B+.
Ah! Immersion broken.
Map 4, Stabbed with a Sword. Alright, now that Wormwood Expanded Universe has explained its gimmick and warmed your fingers up, it's time for the big trick or treat. Stabbed with a Sword is a strange world unto itself. A gaily colored, angular domain of neon and fire lodged deep in some primordial forest. Right away, RIBBIKS draws your attention towards the flame spirits. The first one you find will unlock the way forward and populate the map with foes, but the other flame spirits give you weapons. Make sure you find them all. RIBBIKS also rolls out the baby cyber demons here. They're neon green and take roughly a quarter of the punishment that a Papa Cyber can. Once you've gotten your bearings and some weapons, you're faced with 2 fights that can be attacked in any order. Let's talk about my favorite encounter in the WAD first. It's an exuberant, kinetic rocket fest on multiple fronts. Imps and Hell Nobles gush from the crevice while Cacos encroach, Mancubi mortar you, and spiders spam plasma. Ascending the stairs awakens a baby cyber who can be a great infighting ally or an instant death. I love this fight, and was happy to spend as much time on it as necessary to get it right. But once you finish it, you have to do the other one.
Well, that's a full cyber. That's a grown-up cyber.
I was physically incapable of completing this fight without armor. The errant cyber missiles, high-flying Cacos, unavoidable imp chip damage, and that maniacal wave of revenants, Hell Knights, and Pain Elementals is an excruciating combo. I prepared poorly, but I knew it was coming, and I still took 53 deaths in this recording. Winning those 2 fights earns you a yellow keycard and skull, which open the exit gate and grant access to a hidden megasphere, but you still need to raise the walkway to the inner sanctum where the exit is. Fight through this glow-in-the-dark lava passage for the red keycard, and skip across the L-shaped platforms to the final face-off. A surreal Z-Doom visual glitch makes this Cyberdemon family reunion all the more interesting and deadly. Stabbed with a Sword is a paragon of high-level Doom gameplay, but what sets it apart from the rest of the Wormwood series is the feel of it all. Beneath the sprightly combat and Halloween cheer, there's a deep-seated melancholy. Death is implied everywhere. In the spirits of defeated Marines, in the consuming darkness of the Lightbright corridor, in the coffin you lie down in at the very end. What started as a silly Monster House send-up became a lot more existential.
I was about to say. Great. I was about to say that. That's fine.
A+, difficulty
Yeah, that's really
X.
cool.
For gung-ho challenge seekers, Wormwood Expanded Universe also has 3 bonus maps.
Okay.
Let's hop right in. Map 31, Journal Entry 1, Killing Time. Killing Time offers not the smallest crumb of mercy. In the first half of the map, you're forced to use a cyber demon to carve enemy impediments out of your way while playing hopscotch over a death pit. These L-shaped platforms can play a game of chicken with a train. Seriously. Hit all the skull switches and the giant...
I'm sorry, repeat that. Can I get that back again?
Cyber demon to carve enemy impediments out of your way while playing hopscotch over a death pit. These L-shaped platforms can play a game of chicken with a train. Seriously. Hit all the skull switches and the giant brown sector monsters will vomit 75 cacodemons into the arena. You'll never hear me say this again, but this RIBBIKS level reminds me of a Delinquent of Doom map I played once. In my experience, the cyber isn't worth keeping alive, and neither is...
I remember having that idea to beat that time, the 3-minute time. I probably won't. I'm too lazy. Whatever. You can have it, Acolyte. It's yours.
His replacement. Pounce on them, cut loose on the cack-o'-lanterns, then try to top off on health and ammo without taking a dive, and you should just barely make it out alive. Killing Time's only saving grace is its shortness. This is for masochistic platforming lovers only. Grade D, difficulty X-. Map 32, Journal Entry 2, Thus We Spammeth. The title is a bit misleading. Thus We Spammeth is indeed a BFG expo, but don't think you're gonna get away with bad ammo management on RIBBIKS watch. The central area is a madhouse, so I try to get the heck out of there and focus on clearing out the wings first. Both sideshow fights are high-intensity affairs that incentivize careful cell usage and mandate cat-like movement. Falling in the gaps marked by orange lines is 100% fatal, but much easier to avoid than Map 31's death pits. Lay off the trigger in the red key fight a bit and the cybers will do most of the work for you. With the keys that make orange when mixed together, you can access the exit and...
You could have just said red and yellow, but you know what? They do make orange. And this is the orange episode. I like it.
Whole heap of cells that can be used for cleanup, which is this map's obvious low point. This is my favorite of Wormwood EU's bonus maps. It's boisterous, explosive, and good for event. Grade A-, difficulty A. Map 33, Journal Entry 3, Business as Usual. Wormwood 2's most substantive outtake, Business as Usual is a
There's the scream. Told you.
Tyson outing set in a handsome but arid outpost. Despite the ammo famine, I find this journal entry much comfier.
Did I get you? Did I get you? Did I get you?
Usual. Wormwood 2's most substantive outtake, Business as Usual is a semi-Tyson outing set in a handsome but arid outpost. Despite the ammo famine, I find this journal entry much comfier and more approachable than the other two. It's fun turning the demons against each other, and real estate for scrambling isn't so scarce.
Dude, that's my favorite part. That's my favorite part of monster infighting. And I'm so glad this happened. I'm so glad you put this in the video. That you zoomed in on this. Like, you see a monster visibly walking towards you. They get hit by something. They don't pain chance. Their pain chance doesn't proc. So they don't make a sound. They just turn around immediately and just walk the other way, like with this Kako here. It's so fucking funny.
It's fun turning the demons against each other, and real estate for scrambling isn't so scarce. You'll get a plasma rifle, but don't burn a single cell if you can help it. The Baron turrets get crushed when you use both keys, and you can telefrag the cyber demon on your way out of the lone secret, which also contains a switch that makes the final fight easier. At least, I assume it does. I found this secret in my first playthrough and frankly don't care to make life harder for myself. I'm not a big fan of the lone Baron you have to awkwardly punch or pistol to death, and the cramped basement fight against 2 archviles and a whole lot of imps and chain gunners really singes my chin whiskers. Anything less than perfect use of your cells will leave you with a painful amount of chaff and knuckle dust, and no matter how well you play that part, there's still a wall of lost souls and 2 more Barons to deal with. What a bummer. Grade B+, difficulty A-. So, Wormwood Expanded Universe is a top-shelf bag of Doom Halloween candy for those with the stomach for RIBBIKS' merciless turns. I, for one, will be tuning in to hurt me plenty in future playthroughs, though ultraviolence is by no means unfair. To date, this is the most rewarding entry in the Wormwood series. It's charming, clever, entertaining, and at its best, engrossing. My final grade for Wormwood Expanded Universe is an A-.
Yeah!
Difficulty-wise, Wormwood 2's hardest moments could scare the pants off anybody, so let's give it an X-. Bring garlic, steaks, and crosses if you decide to boot this one up on Halloween night, and silver bullets if it's a full moon. Now for a quick Dean's List. Valedictorian, Map 4, Stabbed with a Sword. Salutatorian, Map 3, I'm Rubber, You're Glue. Class President, Map 4, Stabbed with a Sword. And the Dust Cap goes to Map 31, Journal Entry 1, Killing Time.
It's kind of the only option. It's like every other map was just a banger. Like, that was so awesome. What's next?
So that was the least spooky wad I have on tap for you this Halloween. Moving on to the next still functioning terminal, we have Morbid Autumn, the 29th entry in the Doom Rewards Project series made during October of 2020 and released the following month. Its fall theme and sinister demeanor made it a natural pick for this episode, and while it's no tangerine nightmare, I think you'll find it a welcome companion for a cup of tea and the early sunset of post-daylight savings time. Let's have a look, shall we? Map 1, Mortis Castille. The opening view of the rugged geology, handsome new tree sprites, and looming castle on the hill got me pretty psyched to dive into this wad. Don't actually dive in the gorge though, or you'll get soft-locked. Mortis Castille is short but lively, laying down hell nobles, revenants, arachnos, and even a cyber demon from the outset. 40 ounce loads you up with ammo, and he offers a bonus Zerk and rocket launcher to players who engage with their surroundings, so you shouldn't be too overwhelmed to drink in the atmosphere. The new door, lift, and switch press sound effects add a dash of medieval grit to the proceedings. And little touches like this chalice, candle, chair, and end table really draw me in. The dungeon square off against Lord Sybe and his horde of pinky jailers is made somewhat anticlimactic by all the plasma ammo you get, and the buggy's secret count is kind of off-putting, but Mortis Castille is still a fine tone setter. Grade B, difficulty B-. Map 2, the Guillotine. More than a little inspired by Scythe 2, the Guillotine borrows a familiar Sisters of Mercy MIDI and Eric Alm's lava-damaged gothic castle aesthetic.
Hey, who else thought it was pronounced guillotine for the longest time? I sure did.
Punch your way to the title set piece and decapitate this unlucky shotgunner to produce the yellow key and a swarm of ghostly foes. The Guillotine is substantially easier than the first map. 40 ounce gives you plenty of rockets to shred the opposition, and so long as you stand clear of the chain gunner tower, the final fight is gory gravy. Honestly, now that I'm a big Sisters of Mercy fan because of Scythe 2, I have more to say about the wimpy midification of Black Planet than this map. If you'd have told me 2 years ago that custom Doom wads would be getting me into new bands, I'd have said you were nuts, but here we are. Grade B, difficulty C-. Footnote, I almost forgot about this bit where you grab an iron key and use it to unlock the door right next to it. Groovy, but kinda pointless. Map 3, Hate Tectonics. Well punned, PEERDOLIUS. Hate Tectonics shakes the ground beneath your feet from the start with a hard-rocking ambush and a bloody basin. You better crank up the volume if you want to actually hear the MIDI. The Joy Division fans will wince at some of these pitch bends. Don't miss the rocket launcher hiding in the shadows, and get ready for some serious spelunking. Most of Hate Tectonics takes place underground, where the demons have the element of surprise. The claustrophobic layout favors the beefier baddies, so try to use rockets while you have the space. PEERDOLIUS rewards backtracking with a computer area map, a bulk cell, and a second berserk, so don't be afraid to sniff around when things go quiet. The red key meatball rumble and the cellar scrap with the megasphere are strong moments in an otherwise slow-paced map, and I commend PEERDOLIUS on his subterranean visuals, which are usually hard to sustain interest in. Grade B+, difficult.
Oh, plate tectonics. I'm fucking dumb. I was trying to figure out what the pun was.
B. Map 4, Norwich Lane.
Oh god, speaking of which, dude, I gotta run and get a drink real quick, because, like, I finished my entire Coke, and I'm like, I get sriracha sauce on my Subway sandwich, and I'm like, I'm dying. I gotta pause. Alright, I return. Let me open this real quick. Saw Investigation Discovery on the TV out in the living room, and I think that's the dumbest fucking channel ever created. Some of the TV show names on that channel, man. Evil lives here. No one can hear you scream. What the fuck? Who the fuck watches that shit? Dumb fucking show. Anyway.
Oh, this is a lot more creepy than I was expecting. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just grab a shotgun and... Oh, God. Jump scared by a zombie man. This is exactly what I was hoping to get when I booted up Morbid Autumn. The sumptuous, skin-crawling Norwich Lane is a functionally perfect map. It delivers an immersive horror experience, pulls out all the stops aesthetically, and plays exactly like the haunted house it aspires to be. The level of detail here is just stunning. Sunny666, who also wrote this bone-chilling MIDI, traced around wood planks in the floor and individual rocks on the ground to make a 3D pathway. The barn, guest house, and science lab are decked out with all kinds of nifty mid-texture widgets and sector furniture. The manor itself has these incredibly eerie window textures that gleam evilly against the ashen sky, and the lighting overall is totally jaw-dropping. It's such a great map to just walk around in that I wouldn't care if the action fell flat, but it doesn't. First contact with the possessed grounds crew is pretty uneventful, but Sunny throws in enough surprise attacks to keep you honest, and the part where you get locked in this unholy cave is a thrill, especially the murderous game of hide and seek with 3 archviles that starts when you grab their blue key. I want to know where the hell Sunny666 came from and what he's going to do next. I'm there for it. Grade A+, difficulty B-. Map 5, Magma Gorge. Morbid Autumn's midsection is definitely its sweet spot. Magma Gorge's decadent landscape shots and toasty ambiance make it one of the coziest and most aesthetically
No, I thought Toasty wasn't in this one.
appealing maps in the set. Unfortunately,
It's a pretty good joke, if I may say so myself. I'm pretty proud of that one.
the gameplay doesn't quite keep up. The further along we get in this wad, the more punches 40 ounce seems to pull. You'll have 30 plus rockets in your pack before you have reason to loose a single missile, and every one of these fights can be dismantled with minimal effort. I don't mind a power fantasy, but there's not enough jib fodder for that either. The Cyber Demon battle in the basement is the only fight you'll have to brace for, unless of course you waltz over to this invol and check behind the red key pedestal for a BFG. If you can't cyber bully him with that, I don't know how to help you. Despite its snoozy gameplay, I enjoy inhabiting Magma Gorge. Every frame is a painting made of light, heat, and rock. Grade B+, difficulty C+. Map 6, Deathwhistle. Without a doubt the densest and meanest map in Morbid Autumn, Deathwhistle is a gore-splattered keep with enough barrels of explosive mead to last these demons the winter twice over. This map was a rude awakening for my 40-ounce induced siesta the first time I played it. Super Cupcake Tactics makes you fight for every health pack and box of shells, batters you with bullets and flak, and spring-loads seemingly every room with traps that can snuff your candle in a wink. Deathwhistle can be very unforgiving if you don't keep your health stack up, but it pays back your diligence with a few deliciously explosive set pieces. Some of Deathwhistle's secrets are unhelpful almost to the point of trolling, and the custom sound effects make this room with the automatic lifts pretty obnoxious. I miss the SSG, but Cuppy did a good job balancing his level around its absence. I miss the SSG, but Cuppy did a good job balancing his level around its absence. I can always admire maps that ride the razor's edge of ammo starvation as well as this one does. All told, Deathwhistle is masterful work, but I enjoy it less than I respect it. Grade A-, difficulty A-. Map 7, Der Galgen. Another hard-nosed castle map, Der Galgen is a bit tougher than I remembered, fully garrisoned with Arachnotron archers, Revenant spellcasters, and mounted Mancuballista. Bumbling into the wrong areas early can kill you quick, so before you approach the keys, make sure to gather weapons and load up your rocket launcher. The blue and red key fights aren't too scary if you keep your head and shoot.
The best part about naming yourself Anon, or Anon, however you pronounce it, is that, well, you're anonymous. I wonder if they do a joke where, like, they have 4 different people make different maps, all with this name, and it's all different people, but, like, everyone thinks it's the same person because it's one username. I wonder. That'd be pretty funny.
Shoot straight, but I took enough dumb deaths in this crowded banquet hall to resort to door fighting. You can probably do better. Der Galgen, which today I learned means the gallows in German, didn't really grab me on either of my playthroughs, but it's sure to please castle map enthusiasts. Grade B-, difficulty B+. Map 8, The Fallen Towers.
Kinda like me, kinda. Not the Fallen Towers, the castle enthusiast. I mean, I like Fortress of Evil from Icarus.
Late-stage breather is a rocket launcher romp executed with surprising grace by JOE-ILYA. The map is balanced entirely around Weapon 5, but you can find a chainsaw, chain gun, and BFG in some fairly obvious secrets. I like this map's rapid pace and high stakes. Every rocket counts, and a fast reaction time is worth its weight in medikits. It's good fun to leap across big gaps and shimmy around rock formations in search of supplies, and I'm impressed by how nicely these natural vistas turned out. The Fallen Towers is probably the most entertaining JOE-ILYA map I've played to date, a deal sealed by this ending riddled with spiders, vials, and gore confetti. Good show, Joe. Grade B, difficulty B-. Map 9, Call of the Canyon. The only thing I like about Call of the...
Is it Canyon from the Master levels? Is it calling back?
Canyon is the idea of playing a map set in a canyon. This is Morbid Autumn's low point, almost certainly buried late in the wad so as not to turn on perspective.
How did these demons end up in this boxed canyon?
Players. Call of the Canyon is clunkily paced, one-dimensional, and downright primitive on the aesthetic front. 90% of the map is covered in this brown wall texture, and 90% of the enemy roster is imps, zombie men, and pinkies. The super shotgun is the strongest weapon you get, and I find Berserk more entertaining and effective to use against the mindless mob. UV maxers will be put off by the flagrant monster window dressing, weird, missable monsters, and pointless secrets that require extensive backtracking. The final room is a complete flop that can be defanged by sniping the vial before you walk in. Call of the Canyon is a steaming mess, but it definitely seems like newbie work, and I do still like the driving idea behind it, so grade D, difficulty D+. Map 10, Dusk Ache. Morbid Autumn ends on a pretty underwhelming winter solstice.
Ooh, the MIDI!
Dusk Ache is a straight shot through a series of fights that you can mostly stand back and rocket spam through. 40 Ounce was definitely in charge of rocket disbursement here, and he still hasn't given up on this gate key gimmick. Stop trying to make fetch happen, 40 Ounce. I think this WAD lost its autumn identity and became a castle-themed map set by the end, which isn't so much a critique as a small letdown for me personally. Right before the final fight, you can interact with this slashed canvas to reveal an invul, but that's baby stuff. Even without it, you'll have enough cover and leftover health to squash this demon brute squad and their archvile reinforcements. With the final leaf fallen from the last mid-texture tree, Morbid Autumn is over. Grade C+, difficulty
Last map,
C+.
huh?
So, Morbid Autumn doesn't quite live up to its potential, but bearing in mind that every Doomerboards project is conceived, designed, and tested in the span of 30 days, I think these lads ought to be proud of their work. High-quality visuals are a constant in the DBPs I've played, and this set has a few bona fide Kodak moments that are well worth enduring the occasional misstep for. If you're looking for a Doom accompaniment of the season, you could do far worse than DBP number 29. My final grade for Morbid Autumn is a B. Difficulty-wise, this is pretty mild stuff. Let's leave a C+ in its trick-or-treating.
Shout out to Game of Thrones. Never
Now
seen
for
it.
my Dean's List. Valedictorian, Map 4, Norwich Lane. Salutatorian, Map 6, Death Whistle. Class President, Map 6, Death Whistle. And the dunce cap goes to Map 9, Call of the Canyon. Alright, I think it's time we amped up the fear factor.
What are we
By
doing?
that, I mean let's play something scarier and more daunting. I've got just the WAD if it's still here. Ah, yes. Wormwood 3, The Horror.
Oh,
When
there
I
was a
opened
third one. Blah, blah, blah. A third Wormwood.
this WAD on November 1st of last year, it folded space-time and gave me one more hour of Halloween. Wormwood 3 is the strangest and darkest entry in the series, which is hopefully not still a trilogy at the time of this video's airing. Note that this map set will completely refuse to load with Z-Doom, and it's got some game-breaking visual glitches on GZ Doom, so stick with PR Boom Plus or DSDA Doom for best results.
Alrighty.
There's no tongue-in-cheek story
Sorry.
this time around, but it does pick up from map 4 of Expanded Universe. Remember, we died.
Oh yeah, that was the one with the grave.
Map 1, Life. Underneath the neon Halloween trappings and RIBBIKS gameplay
God.
staples, Life is a very disconcerting map. Gone is the whimsy and humor of the other two Wormwood openers. Life oozes solemn surrealism, and its dehacked sorcery inspires wonder and dread in equal measure. This red floor is so purely destructive that it even kills monsters who dare touch it.
That's what I thought was gonna happen when I first played Doom. When I first played E1M1, and I saw the demon, I just called them demons at the time. I thought they were gonna walk on the toxic slime, and I thought they were gonna get hurt by it too. But damn, brother.
And green meteors belch from eldritch furnaces suspended in lethal ether. What the hell is this place? No time to speculate. The central fight against a gush of Hell Knights and Imps is deceptively risky. Try to keep the demons in the middle of the arena so the meteors work them over, bolt for the rocket launcher, punch a hole, and make a mad dash for safety. Survive one more round of platforming and it's time for another one-of-a-kind Cyber Demon square-off. Don't get caught by a rocket or linger in the wake of the missile barrage or your history. I'd be remiss if I didn't say something about this RIBBIKS original soundtrack. If I had to
I was just thinking about the MIDI. This MIDI's fucking awesome.
describe it in a single sentence, AIT.mid makes me believe in an afterlife that's not what I hoped it would be. Life goes above and beyond the typical Wormwood opener. It's entertaining, innovative, and haunting. Grade A, difficulty
Hell
A-.
yeah.
Map 2, Vampire Killer. You have to see this map from a few different angles before its brilliance dawns on you. Pun intended. This is Grain of Salt's best work in the Wormwood series so far. It's choose your own adventure slaughter set in a castle drowning in purple flurp. Little does the newcomer know, there
Yo, shout out to Jimmy Neutron.
are 3 ways to start this map. You can take the teleporter right in front of you and bushwhack the Hell Knights and Chain Gunners. You can skip the teleporter, grab the rad suit and some extra rockets, and forfeit the element of surprise.
I'm gonna make the obligatory joke here. Oh my god, it's the lean map!
Or you can grab the suit, duck out the back door, and wander around the castle outskirts where you can find a teleporter that will let you flank the nastiest fight in the map. An army of revenants, a cyber demon, and a squad of drunk arachnotrons. What the hell's a drunk arachnotron, you ask?
I can't see. I would like to know.
Wormwood 3's Arachnotrons spray plasma like Barney Gumble taking a leak.
Oh my
I'm
god.
90% sure their projectiles do hell my damn.
Like Barney Gumble taking a leak. Oh, that's pretty fucking funny. I can't do the burp sound or I would. That's pretty fucking good, I gotta say.
Damage. They are not to be underestimated. Hold off the fire button and let the troops on the ground wear the spiders down before you engage. No matter how you approach the first half of this map, you'll end up with a purple key and a smile on your face. And if for some reason you're lacking the latter, climb up this purple spire.
Hey! It's Happy Face.
Concentrate on the Alki Arachnos and watch out for
Alki
projectiles
Arachnos
in the final fight, and this one's in the books. It's a shame the teleporters in the bathroom fight are broken, keeping 100% kills beyond your reach, but it's Vampire Killer's only flaw. Grade A, difficulty A-. Map 3, The Horror. The most intimidating map in the Wormwood series, The Horror is ammo-famished and stiletto sharp. Tightrope walk through RIBBIKS' nightmares. Like stabbed with a sword, the Horror intimately integrates its Wormwood-exclusive hacks. The drunk spiders become wicked snipers, terrifying up-close encounters, and essential infighters. With the green meteors, RIBBIKS makes homicidal Rube Goldbergs and guards treasures. These buggers will be the cause of a lot more death and frustration than you might expect. There isn't a single free encounter in the Horror, though you are permitted to skip big chunks of it if you're in a hurry and or like to suffer. The main progression involves conquering stylized challenges and grabbing keycards. Courageous players can pursue 3 side quests for colorful skulls that grant special rewards. I skipped the purple skull because it eats up an all-important invulnerability that I use for this part. As you can see, this fight is clinically insane, even with a few seconds of breathing room at the start, relying on the meteor.
Yeah, that does create a lot of space. Yeah, without the invuln, it's gonna be pretty fucking nuts.
The object of the game, but the pain elementals are a wild card, and getting the cacos to behave is like herding cats. To unlock the BFG, you thankfully only need the green skull, which is the easiest optional key to reach. It's easy to give in to temptation, but I also highly recommend gritting your teeth through this hellacious platforming segment for an extra 100 cells. The Horror culminates in a cataclysmic encounter with a full amphitheater of.
Here's what I think. You gotta do the platforming once, right? Like, your first playthrough, you gotta do it. After that, hit the hate platforming button all you want. But I think if you're gonna play it, you gotta do it at least once.
Inebriated Arachnos, 6 cyber demons, a murder of revenants, and some loose pain elementals. The BFG can punch 2 or 3 ad hoc.
Ooh, the transition! Oh my god, that was good.
A murder of revenants and some loose pain elementals. The BFG can punch 2 or 3 ad hoc escape routes in the bone wall, but the rocket launcher is worthless, and RIBBIKS only lets you cut loose at cleanup time. I run the risk of sounding like an old man yelling at a cloud here, but I like to kill demons. This current objective survive stuff.
That's multiple references in one. I know that's a phrase, but I've heard Doom Kid say that a lot. Old man yells at cloud moment. That's a Skyrim reference with the sound and the font, and current objective survive is a Halo Reach reference. That is a lot of. That's a good bit of writing. I like it. Hell yeah.
Man yelling at a cloud here, but I like to kill demons. This current objective survive stuff isn't for me. No matter how brutally the Horror beats my ass, I can't help but be awestruck by RIBBIKS' artistry and craftsmanship. Take for example this leap of faith by the purple key where you skirt around the ledge to safety. What a bold, organic way to make the player move through a Doom map. It's a great dramatic moment too. One slip and you go tumbling into the abyss. I highly recommend getting to know the Horror, as it was much more gratifying on second pass. Where does Wormwood go after this? I hope we get to find out this year. Grade A, difficulty X. What? First Archviles and now Ghosts, huh? Well, wasn't planning on covering this one yet, but maybe it's a sign.
What is this? What in the fuck? Comatose Overdose 2. Hey, so this is a bit of a good time for me to mention. I don't like horror games or horror movies. I'm not good with horror stuff. I'm what we like to call a pussy ass bitch. I'm a little pussy baby. I don't like horror stuff. So, I know Happy Time Circus won some CAC awards. I won't be playing them, because I'm, say it with me, a pussy baby. Okay. What is this? What in the hell is this?
I'm rarely at a loss for words, but Comatose is just one of those maps. 5 minutes in, it becomes something you have no choice but to finish. An hour in, you start to wonder if it's even possible to finish. And 3 hours in, you wish you didn't have to finish it. Comatose is literally as detailed as a Doom map can be, and as strong a piece of storytelling and world building as I have seen in thousands of maps played and reviewed. Before we get down to the nitty-gritty here, please note that Comatose demands a high-performance machine or a PR Boom-derived source port to play. My computer could not run it without major frame rate droppage in software mode. Comatose is a true ghost town, populated entirely by dark, fuzzy varieties of Doom 2's bestiary. Coupled with the lack of monster alert and search sounds and silent teleports, this presents a unique challenge. OpenGL's low contrast and the town's general pallor make it so you're essentially blind fighting through the entire map. Even though LAINOS is pretty generous with health and ammo, your first few minutes in Comatose are bound to be frantic and a bit frustrating. This brand of combat is an acquired taste, but it is fascinating how one small change can turn nothing encounters into serious threats. Hit scanners, lost souls, and regular old specters will be the bane of your existence here. I try to find a chain gun ASAP and use the bullet spray to reveal foes. Its fast reaction time also outclasses the shotgun when storming into buildings. Against flying foes, I try to position myself against a clear view of the sky to better see enemy outlines. Ironically, Mancubus apparitions are a bit easier to deal with owing to their husky hitboxes and placement in wide open areas. Comb the tall grass for ammo pickups and root around for medikits and armor if you're running low. You always missed something.
Oh, they're using the pill texture from the BFG edition.
Demon killing. That's not what this map is about. It goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. Comatose is one of the eeriest Doom maps ever made, and not just because Doom Guy punches right-handed. The droning portal soundtrack and persistent quiet completely envelop you to the point where you reach a state of reverie and almost forget to feel dread. That is, until a backstabbing ghost brings you back to reality. It doesn't take long for the trepidation of rummaging through abandoned houses, feeling around for hidden switches, and tiptoeing through unexplored terrain to become addictive. I should mention, this map is not without jump scares, but they're all organic and earned. One of them is so blood-curdling I had to pause and collect myself the first time I found it. I won't show it here because I know a few of you haven't played this and wish you hadn't ignored my spoiler warning. Comatose is home to a wealth of details, poignant...
Or you're like me and you're a pussy baby. I don't like horror.
Whimsical and macabre. Its sepulchral still life scenes are mesmerizing, and LAINOS' knack for micro-detailing has no equal. Everybody remembers the countless discarded cigarette butts, but I can't get over the abandoned grocery store. You just have to see this for yourself. Some of these flourishes are invisible unless you free look, but LAINOS put them there anyway. I've never found all 23 secrets and only skimped on kills because I want an excuse to come back and see more of this map someday. The big question is obviously what happened here, but you never get an answer. Environmental clues suggest that something serious went down between factions of Nazis, occultists, plague doctors with a passion for archaeology, and the Illuminati. Whatever it was, it came suddenly and without much fanfare.
I was just thinking it looked like a setting you'd see in like Left 4 Dead, but this is way beyond that. This is way beyond the scope of, like, a zombie game.
Given the mapper's Russian origins, Chernobyl seems like the obvious parallel. The myriad barrels of toxic waste in this irradiated BFG chamber definitely invoke nuclear angst, but that's obviously not the whole story, because where did all these ghosts come from? My theory is Comatose is supposed to be purgatory. Various evil forces tampered with a power beyond their understanding, and unlocking it cast the entire town in a permanent gloom of unbeing. Only the shadows of wicked souls live here now. It's the subtlety of LAINOS' apocalyptic vision that makes it so effective. All he did was smudge out the monster sprites and make the demons quiet, but Doom feels infinitely more lonely and sad this way. Comatose isn't the scariest Doom WAD I've played, but it taps into a kind of horror that transcends department store Halloween and gets to the heart of what this season is really about, I think. It expresses that universal human fear of the unknown, of being alone in liminal spaces, of the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. Thus, conscience does make cowards of us all.
Good fucking lord, wowie. Oh my god. Didn't even speak the grade or the difficulty. Didn't even need to. Good fucking god.
Thank you very much for watching.
Oh, we're done! Alright, well I'm sad now, you fuck! Alright.
Please feel free to share your thoughts in the WODs down below. I'd love to hear what you think, and I'll heart your comments to let you know I've read them. Now, I'd like to take...
Imagine finishing that map, and you're like all sad and somber. And then you just load up the next map, and you just hear the healer stocks start playing.
a moment to acknowledge my generous patrons. Aaron Allen.
Oh, we're green this time. Let me see here. Are there any funny names? I want to hear him say some funny names. Oh, there's Dario Romero. I wonder how they came up with that name. Maybe that's actually their name. I just want to see if there's any. I want to see if Swagmaster 420 got he went to the Ultra Scholar. There I am. It's me. I know Decino's been getting some pretty fucking funny patron names. Oh, Swagmaster 420's gone. Oh well. Oh, alright, I guess that's it. Hey, it's Yogg again. Hi, Yogg.
Very much. This is Mount Pain 27, and I'll see you in the next episode of Dean of Doom.
Hell yeah, dude. Obviously it didn't beat, it did not beat, the 2021 Halloween special, but, like, nothing will. That is such a quality fucking episode. But this is very, very high up on that list. The production quality was so good. Wormwoods 2 and 3 are fucking awesome WODs, and I've never even played them. But that is it for Halloween, my boys. And now I'm gonna go sleep this Subway sandwich off. Good night, friends.